Okay, good morning, everyone. It's morning to the United States and good evening to our friends in Europe. I'm Stephen Lee. I'm the sales manager of SWANCO Advanced Materials and your host for today's HYVER webinar. Thank you for your joining with us this morning and the evening. And it's been our pleasure to have you here online with us. In the following sessions, we are going to present and share these exciting product innovations, which can help your company to stay competitive in the market. So during this webinar, we are going to provide some recent updates and developments for the company. And then we will get into the product introductions, which helps you to understand the key features and benefits of this HYVER resin. We also invite a good friend from the industry to share with you about their valuable experiences with HYVER resins in their application. And lastly, as to our distribution partners, we are going to talk about some implementations know-hows to guide you through the how to implementing HYVER resins to your customers. In this session, I'm going to provide you some updates within these 2 years. SWANCO Holding is a public company and listed in Taiwan, and there are 2 business units under the holding company. The one is Advanced Material Business Unit, provides resin technologies that goes into the wind turbine blades and anti-corrosions and the latest composite material technologies. And the other one is Carbon Fiber Composite Business Units, that provides carbon fiber composites for wind turbine industry and the applications like protrusions, pre-preg, thermoplastic sheets, and composite parts. So the first thing first, I would like to announce SWANCO is turning into its 30 years old this year. And SWANCO Advanced Material was listed on the stock market in 2020, last year. We also have 2 integrations. The first one is the Meijia, and we formed these strategic allies and acquire about 23.8% of its company shares. And that's for securing the access to the upstream epoxy raw materials. And the second acquisition is Kotec, and who is the carbon fiber composite manufacturers, and that's for the applications in aerospace and automotive and military applications. SWANCO has 5 manufacturing sites in Asia, as indicated in yellow color, and 2 R&D centers. And our European production is expecting to be online by the end of this year in Q4. And the current company profile updates is about 728 employees, and its 2020 revenue is about $302 million US. The total capacity is about 131,000 metric tons, and that makes us the largest vinyl ether manufacturer in Asia. SWANCO products starting from offering corrosion resistant resins and extended into the wind turbine blades technologies. And HYVER resins is also plays a very important role here in these applications, and that's for building the larger wind turbine blades. And SWANCO also offer a flame retardant epoxy resins that meets with the EN 45545-2 standards. And in the effort of the environmental friendly and the VOC issues as well, SWANCO makes it available to our customer to select the lower styrene contents in the vinyl ether resins and to minimize it to less than 35%. And now we are committed to ourselves and a better sustainable futures for the mankind. Our next effort is to make it available for degradable resins so it can be truly recyclable. Regarding to SWANCO Group's ESG, our ESG committee was established in 2015. And ever since, we've been receiving Taiwan Enterprise Sustainability Awards for 7 years in a row. SWANCO is also recognized as the 17th of the year Growth Top 100 Taiwanese Enterprise in the year 2021, Commonwealth Magazine, and the top 50 Taiwanese enterprise on the carbon reduction. So talk about the carbon reductions. This page is to illustrate how serious to ourselves committed to the carbon reductions and the important role that we are in this industry. We are proud to ourselves that our resins was used to produce the wind turbine blades that has reached the CO2 reductions for more than 98 million tons between 2019 to the October of 2020. And this year, we launched our new company slogan, and that is, we devote carbon neutralities and innovate new materials, just like the previous page. This is our brand promise, and we mean it. And that's about the updates. Thank you. And let me turn into the to the next speaker, Meng Ting.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. And this is Tim from SWANCO R&D department. And it's pretty pleasure getting this chance to share and publish SWANCO's new product, SWANCO HYVER 2250, which is designed for vacuum infusion. In coming slide, I would like to share briefly introduction for this product. Basically, there are 4 major components containing main resin, current agent, catalyst, and the initiator. And as we know, there are 2 well-developed materials, including radical system and epoxy system in SWANCO. And there are many advantages from these 2 systems. For example, radical system get higher rigidity and faster curing, and epoxy system get better weighting and physical property. Now we convert these 2 systems to one material through interpenetration network, and that is SWANCO HYVER 2250. From this table, and we can say it's pretty versatile product. And here we want to show you why we choose SWANCO HYVER 2250. And first, compared to main strengths of material in Yacht and both industry like UPR and BR, SWANCO HYVER 2250 gets lower shrinkage. And secondly, due to lower shrinkage, the end product gets better surface appearance. And better surface property means that we have the chance to reduce the main usage for the hand-up and increase efficiency for the whole process. And finally, the surface treatment get much polluted with dust. So we can say SWANCO HYVER 2250 is working environmental friendly product. And from this slide, we'll show you some technical issue for SWANCO HYVER 2250. First is radical modified vacuum infusion resin with lower viscosity, long gel time, and lower shrinkage compared to UPR and VR. And it's suited for any kinds of large structural product with infusion process. And it's good adhesion with the UPR gel coat and good weight ability with glass and carbon fiber. And from this table show the appearance and the viscosity for 3 or 4 components. And first one is the gel time table. And here's gel time table. We designed the operating condition from 20 to 35 degrees C, which suit for most of cases globally. Meanwhile, it's resilient with specific of components SWANCO HYVER 1305 as catalyst like 0.1, 0.3, 0.5, and 0.7 respectively. And that's all can meet the pot life longer than 60 minutes. And the second table is about the casting property with tensile, fracture, and HTT, and shown in this table. And SWANCOR HYVER 2250 already get the DNV approval, means that the mechanical properties can fit the requirement yet and boat industry. And SWANCOR HYVER 2250 get research and development for a few years. During this period, SWANCOR got deeply cooperation with EdTech Composite, sharing mutual resource and the support of each other. Today, fortunately, we invite EdTech Composite representative Jack Hong to introduce the application case, showing more concrete and specific result. And Jack, now it's your turn.
Thank you, Mengting. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jack Hong from EdTech Composite Engineering Department. I'm so excited to participate in this online conference because today I'm going to share two important things with you. The first one is our application experience of HYVER resin in composite yacht building. The second one is the advantage we have learned from the application. As an experienced composite manufacturer, we believe that if we make the composite part looks good, it is good. Surface appearance is one of the most important items for quality evaluation in yacht industry. So having a nice surface is one of the measures to attract the buyers to buy our boat. I'm proud that EdTech is a professional composite manufacturer and is quite skilled in infusion process. So as you can see, the boat in this slide, it is a 30-meter or 102 feet hull. Infusing this hull and the girders, stringers in one shot is not a problem to us. But the severe shrinkage caused by the chemical reaction from a huge amount of unsaturated polyester resin is a big issue to us. It will cause a phenomenon we hate to see: print through or pattern through. Print through or pattern through is the fiber pattern or the foam core grooving pattern appear on the gel coat surface. Generally, we can check it under the light and just move your head to see the pattern. Let's take a look on the photos in this slide. These are the test panels we made for HYVER resin testing. We would like to make a comparison between HYVER and unsaturated polyester. As you can see, the test panel made with HYVER has better surface. The surface is clearer. The lambda reflection is straighter than the test panel made with unsaturated polyester. So my opinion is that the first advantage of HYVER is lower shrinkage and better looking. But some people may say using unsaturated polyester can build a boat which also has nice surface. Honestly, they are right, because we did it with the same idea before HYVER application. In order to block the fiber or the grooving pattern from being printed on the surface, the builders always lay up skin coat after respray the gel coat. Generally, the skin coat is made by hand lamination and it is a resin-rich layer and it is always thick. The builder would build a thick skin coat to block print-through phenomenon. For luxury yacht, hand lamination is necessary, but it is really time-consuming. By using HYVER resin, we can save labor hours and the construction days in hand lamination stage. And we also keep the same surface quality. Also, in some cases, the builder built the boat by infusion process, but skin coat is thin. So after demolding, we usually can see a really bad surface. And these builders need to do the surface fairing work to eliminate the bad surface. And the main process to eliminate the pattern is always the rough grind and grind the gel coat surface. After grinding the gel coat, if these builders found that gel coat coverage is not enough, they have to respray the gel coat. And after respraying the gel coat, they also need to do rough grinding and soft sanding work. During the rough grinding process, lots of dust or particles will be scattered in the factory. HYVER help us to get better surface, and so only soft sanding or wet sanding is necessary. We save the labor hours of fairing work. Also, we create a better environment for our technicians. So here are the record of our actual application that I would like to share with you. This is a deck of a 65 feet monohull yacht. Actually, it is the second trial production FRP parts in our factory. The picture I took is the bulwark and the dashboard because they are high visibility areas and the surface appearance is really critical. After demolding, we found the reflection from this area were straight and clear. At that time, we were more confident with HYVER resin. And this is a deck house of a 65 feet catamaran. It is the third trial production FRP part in our factory. When we built this deck house, the weather was hot, and we a little worried about the curing condition. But after demolding, we see the foredeck area look better than we thought. Then this is the biggest trial production part of HYVER application in our factory. It was a 75 feet yacht hull. We infused the whole shell, girders, and the stringers in one shot. Basically, the surface above the chine line is a high visibility area when it sits on the cradle. So you can see the reflection was straight. Even you can see a deck house reflection on the top side. The surface was really, really great. SWANCOR and ATEC integrated the material and the process together and applied for the patents in China and Taiwan. With our efforts and cooperation, now it is a patented technology. Based on my application experience, here are my brief conclusions. The first one is HYVER has lower shrinkage. It makes the surface have better looking. The second one is we save the labor hours and we has less pollution in our factory. Thank you for your listening. And now I would like to hand the presentation over to the next speaker, Mr. Jackson Lin.
Hi, everyone. This is Jackson from sales department. And thanks for the sharing from Jack. It is very impressive that the SWANCOR HYVER can make such an improvement to the working efficiency and also the environment because of the less shrinkage and better service preference. So I think everyone also want to know how to implement HYVER to you or your customer site. So here I would like to share the implementation diagram that can make the evaluation process become more smoothly. First of all, I want to mention that although SWANCOR HYVER is a different concept product with existing two-component type resin, customer can still evaluate with their existing equipment because our target customer of HYVER is the shipyard already manufactured their product with the vacuum assist infusion process, such as the SCR, IMP, or VARTM. So SWANCOR, we will provide a manufacturing guideline with the technical information and practical onboard testing data to you, so you can check whether you or your customer has this equipment or not. So basically, customer can do the evaluation if they already have the two-component mixer, which is used in the infusion molding process. So in order to provide a suitable suggestion design about our product, we need the information about your current lamination design, such as the thickness of each layer or the grooving design data. So then we will provide the lamination data and the process suggestions to you based on this information. So, and it will cost more time to test if we cannot get the sufficient information. So please help us to provide as much data as you can. At first, we recommend you to evaluate our product with a small specimen based on the design we propose. In this stage, you can get more familiar with the manufacturing process of HYVER, and also you can see the difference between UP and HYVER, just like the picture on the right side. And our technical service team can optimize the parameter based on the result you record and provide a better parameter for the further evaluation. If we get the optimized process parameter in the specimen test, you can conduct the trial production from the small part first, such as the hardtop or the radar arc, and then to the large parts such as the bulwark and hull. It is very important that we need you to record the process parameter and the result, so we can discuss with you and then tune the parameter to meet your requirement in each part. It will take several iterations to get the best result in every part. And also, meanwhile, you can build up your own database about how to manufacture your product with HYVER, and it will be very helpful in the future mass production. Finally, you can start to conduct the practical onboard testing based on what we get in the previous trial production stage. And our technical staff will still keep on providing any information you need when you have any problem during the mass production. And this is what we get and learn how to implement HYVER into customer sites. Although it may have many steps to do, I believe it is very worthy to improve your process efficiency and also the working environment with our SWANCOR HYVER. Yeah, and this is my part. I would like to pass it back to Stephen.
Thank you, Jackson. So in summary, SWANCOR HYVER technology is designed for vacuum infusion process. And the ideal applications are making boats and large composite parts fabrications. And the major benefits of SWANCOR HYVER resins is a lower shrinkage rates, and that improves the lamination processing time by up to 30% working hours reduction. And the post-treatment process can be reduced up to 50% of the grinding time hours as well. As our topic focus today is the marine industry, so the ideal customer is the shipyards with the existing vacuum infusion process in place. So as for the implementing these HYVER technologies, in Jackson's introduction, which shows the importance of the steps in the diagram, and it is essential to understand your production parameters. So when we make our recommendations, we can be more precisely, and that can help you to shorten your developments as well. So that's our HYVER webinar today. Okay, and let's start with the Q&A sections. And I have two similar questions that registered when you signed up, and that's from Chris and Sean. And the question is asking, would like to understand the all benefits versus the competition and also the benefits of using HYVER resins. So in response to this question, HYVER 2250 has a lower shrinkage rates and lower VOC than the vinyl ether and UP resins. And that translates to your production is meaning less VOC during the productions and lower surface shrinkage rate and resulting in a better surface quality. And the better surface quality is effectively reduce the post-processing grinding costs and labors. So that also reduce the dust pollutions on site as well. I have a question is asking for the equipments requirements for using HYVER. Jack, do you want to reply this one? He's asking for the customer's capability, capacity or related equipment to use HYVER. So you have the first experience.
Honestly, the answer to this question depends on which stage you are standing now, because in my opinion, there is no special requirement for the manufacturers who have infusion process ability, because you just change a new resin, you didn't change any main equipment for your infusion process. If you want to know which one is the most important part of the equipment, I would like to recommend you to use infusion machine or anything to monitor your curing time or the mixing ratio. That is really important.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks.
Yeah.
And there's another question is asking for the operation manual. And yes, we have the manuals available for the customers. And the other one is asking for the spaceman test. Mengting, do you want to talk about this one?
Okay, because we already passed the DFV approval, so the mechanical property, I don't think there's a problem. So for the mechanical testing, I think it's, if you need it, we can provide resin for testing, or we can provide the sheet directly. But for the application process, yeah, we should, I think just practical testing, that's it, and provide the resin for test, I think.
And he is also asking about the dimensions and the samples and testing method.
It's a dimension for the product to related to the boat, or yes, right? Because we should go back to the design, because if your boat get the different designs, and we recommend the sheet around even bigger than 30 centimeter, multiple 30 centimeter. At this, I think you can get the property and the infusion rate, and that you need.
Okay.
Excuse me, Stephen.
Yes.
I would like to add one more device for the special requirements for the equipment, because
sure.
According to our experience, the weather in Taiwan is hot. So we rarely use any device like air heater to do the post-curing process. So if the shipyard builder is in the cold areas, you need air heater to do the post-curing process, or you need to refer to SWANCOR technical data sheet, because in certain condition, post-curing is not necessary. You must do the post-curing process. I guess you need air heater to help you.
Thank you. That is essential information. And I have a question is asking for the possibility for manufacturing the aviation components.
Okay, I can answer for the last one. Is someone asked for the composite pool and by the spray machine. Okay. It's no problem for spray because the viscosity lower than 1000. So for any kinds of spraying machine, it's no problem, because But the question is why we choose SWANCO for composite pool, because if you gel coat right after the spray layer, so why? Because the shrinkage is the property is at the best advantage for this material. So if you gel coat right after the spray layer, we don't have to use this because there's no profit by using this material. So I don't think why we choose HYVER for composite pool. But the next question is that for aviation, yeah, again, because for aviation, we remember that there are two major requirements. First, very high TG or the very high mechanical property. But the HYVER get around 80 degrees CHD TTG. And for aviation, somebody always use thermoplastic product. And for the very high mechanical property, most of customers using the carbon fiber with epoxy resin with very high mechanical properties. So yes, we can use HYVER for aviation, but why we choose HYVER for aviation is the question. And I hope that I answered these two questions.
Thank you. And I also found another interesting questions that we already answered the special requirements for the Yacht infusion, but there's another portion of his question is asking for curing processes. Monty.
Okay, you said the curing process. Yeah, we can provide the application guideline for the curing process. If the temperature condition is lower than 20 degrees C, we recommend using the 40 degrees C for the post cube within 8 hours. And it could be fit the requirement for the buckle harness.
Thank you. And also there's about questions for Jack. This question is asking that the thickness of the skin coat can be reduced during the process, and how can they confirm how much to reduce and how much reduction of the thickness?
Okay, before answering this question, I have to mention about an important precondition. Your tooling surface must be great. It is impossible to expect that you build a nice part with a bad mold. So if you want to talk about the skin coat or the surface appearance, please make your tooling surface great. Then the thickness of the skin coat. The price or the thickness of skin coat is related to the lamination schedule, your part weight limit, the patterns of your materials, and the acceptance of the surface appearance. So according to our experience, of course, we have our own lamination schedule, our material patterns. So it is not easy to tell you, then just follow our step and then you can get a nice result. So I think the best way to confirm is making the test panels on your own. You can test the process, the thickness, or the ply number, and find the best lamination process and the material for you.
Thank you. And I think that is also covered by Jackson's portion as well. So you need to conduct some trial tests. And the last questions is coming from Italy. Is asking, will your R&D team available to provide technical assistance into a shipyard in order to make all useful tests together with few end users in Italy? Monty, you love to go to Italy, right?
Yeah, after pandemic, we thought there's no problem.
Yes. we will together partnering with the customers and go through those tests that Jackson has mentioned. So we will be working together with you and your customers to go through those experiments. So if there's no further questions, and oh, thank you. Yeah, I have congratulations from Rafael. Thank you. That will be our webinar for tonight and your morning. And once again, thank you for your joining with us this morning and your evening. We are looking forward to you again in the near future. Thank you. Bye.